Hey everyone, Jeff here. It's time for me to do an update, and I've been meaning to get to this for a while because I have a ton of records to show. So it'll probably take a couple of parts, but I've just been busy and haven't had a chance to do that. So hopefully for the next few days I can shoot a couple videos, and hopefully you enjoy watching it. So what you're going to be hearing in the background is Apostrophe by Frank Zappa. This has long been one of my favorite albums, but I just didn't have it on vinyl. I finally do, and just like this record that I showed in a video yesterday, London Symphony Orchestra Volume 2, I got them for free, and I also got a couple other things for free. Now, how that worked was, it wasn't technically free, but as far as I'm concerned, it was. I brought in some scrappy copies of some albums by Bowie, The Who, Beatles stuff that, you know, I had upgraded and there was no use for it for me anymore. So, you know, it was of no value to me. Most stores probably wouldn't have wanted it anyway. So, you know, I brought in this place, you know, wanted to see if we could work out a trade of some sort. And the woman there was just so nice because I brought in maybe around 10 records, and I left with some choice titles. So in addition to these two Frank Zappa albums that I didn't have, I also got to take A Secret Place by Grover Washington Jr., Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. Of course I already have this, but this copy is on that classy Mad Hatter Charisma label. So, definitely had to get that. And this last one, unbelievable. Something I never thought I'd have. A Genius of Modern Music by Thelonious Monk on Blue Note. I mean, you know, I basically paid nothing for this. For that. So, really, really cool. You know, the way she worked with the store credit was, you know, bring in your records, and then, you know, pick out some stuff that you want and we'll work it out. So that was just really, really cool. And I'm going to be bringing a couple more records that I have duplicates of there, and, you know, see what I can get. I'm going to definitely keep in touch with the woman that runs the place and hopefully bring home some more records of that quality. Now, also, if you keep up with me on Facebook, you've noticed that I went to the flea market a couple of times since my last video. And I'm just going to show some of the stuff I bought yesterday at the flea market. Yesterday I went there and I got some crazy good records. The first one I want to show here is Mandrill. This is like funk, fusion, soul, rock. Just really, really cool stuff, and this is just a mint copy. I've seen this before, but it's always been kind of pricey, so, you know, I waited out long enough, and eventually I get my records cheap. That, you know, that's how I'm building a collection. So, very cool to have that. Also got Road Song by Wes Montgomery. Cool to have this because it's on CTI, but it's not a very good record. Wes Montgomery has definitely put out much better stuff than this. This is mediocre at best. And also got Wild Man of the Tenor Sax by Joe Houston. This is on Crown Records, and it's a really cool piece to have. It's not something I'm going to listen to very often because it just feels too bluesy for me. A lot of the progressions seem dull, I guess is the word to describe it, but it's a cool little piece of history, and I'm very happy to have it in my collection. Also picked up yesterday Nursery Crime by Genesis, another longtime favorite of mine that I'm ashamed to have never owned on vinyl, but have to show the Charisma label. Very cool. And this is also gatefold, and actually this artwork is my favorite here. Look at that. Kind of worn, but I only paid $5 for this, so definitely worth it. Now, I picked up a lot of other records yesterday at the flea market, but I haven't listened to any of them yet, so I'm not going to show those until I've heard them, because I have other records to show that I have listened to. So, Here, I'll pull out a little stack here, see what I can get through. George Harrison, Somewhere in England. Listened to this recently. This is another one I found at the flea market a couple weekends ago. I really like George Harrison, and this isn't one of his best albums, but definitely the most underrated Beatle, I think. You know, the focus is usually on John and Paul, but George is a hell of a songwriter, and this is a good album. Also got the first LP from Boston. You know, I guess, you know, some people might think this is a little bit too, you know, radio rock sounding, but the choruses are just so powerful, the riffs rock, and I love this album. This one really reminds me, there was one summer when I was maybe 12 years old, I listened to this all the time, so finally having a copy on vinyl is cool. This next one here is definitely a killer. Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. There was a 50% off sale at my local record store, and you know, I didn't have enough money at the time to buy everything I wanted, but this is something I had to get. It was priced at $40. I paid $20. Never thought I'd own an original copy of Bitches Brew without spending a lot of money. So very cool, and it's on that old school Columbia label. Very cool. Bitches Brew is an album that's tough to get into, and I understand, you know, a lot of the folks watching love this album, and a lot of the folks watching probably can't get into it. But if you listen to this with the right mindset at the right time, this is incredible. Very honored to finally have this. Real quick, another one that I got here, actually I have a few Zappas here that I haven't shown yet. Chic Your Booty. I've had this for a while, but I just never showed it in a video. I think I picked this up at like a guitar store nearby that sells records. I only paid a couple bucks for this. Very cool. Also, Them or Us by Frank Zappa. This is one of the more overlooked albums in Frank's discography, but it's a really good one. Steve Vai is just such a killer player, and you know, the whole album's really good. And you never hear anyone talk about it when they talk about Frank Zappa, which I guess just shows how many great albums he really put out, more so than anything else. But my grandma bought me this as a gift. You know, whenever she sees Zappa, you know, at a store or whatever, she likes to help me out sometimes, and very much appreciated. This is a good album. Also picked up I Sing the Body Electric by Weather Report. This was a flea market find from a couple weeks ago. You know, everyone knows Weather Report, and this is a good one. I definitely like this. What else do I have here? Black Pearls by John Coltrane. I only paid, look at the sticker there, $7. This is another one I got from that guitar store, and really cool. You know, I haven't listened to this in a while, and if I remember correctly, it sounds a little scratchy, but for that sort of price, I'll definitely pick up some Coltrane on that Prestige label. So, I'm only going to go to 10 minutes today, but I'll show a couple more while I have time here. Duster by the Gary Burton Quartet. Yeah. Larry Coryell, Roy Haynes, and Steve Swallow on this one. Really good musicianship, and this is interesting because this came out, I think it came out in 1967, maybe even 1966. And it sounds like fusion. And really, I'm not aware of too many other fusion albums that came out around that time. So, really cool to have this. And it's not a great album, but it's a good album, and it's a unique album. So, very cool to have that in the collection. Those are all the records I'm going to show today. I've got plenty more to show, and I'll get to that in the next couple videos. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoyed watching.